Nice big step off and keep walking. Lovely.
These are the Aboriginal fish traps. This river's tidal, and what they do is they build a dam and all the fish come in with the tide, and then when the tide goes out they get trapped behind all the rocks and they just go and pick them up.
Alright everybody, while we're waiting to board,
Currently where we are, there's a group of no less than 3,600 islands, all different sizes. Oh, it's a big impression there. Looks like it's a turtle nest. So this is where it happened, the nuclear test, in 1956, I think it was. Coming out again this now in the afternoon, just to have a bit of a walk around on another island.
You never know what type of, how strong the rock is essentially, so just be really careful. Don't go in through much of the spin effects as well, you don't know kind of what critters are around, so yeah, a little bit further up I think. Look, too much swell surge, you'll be surprised how dangerous this boat gets in that type of surge. I mentioned it to the guy yesterday.
It is quite amazing how far these turtles can go. There's the water there. And here's the track that the turtle has gone. It just disappears up the beach, right up to that grassy area up there. Quite a long way for him to struggle along. Pretty determined to get there. Just stepped into the water then. The water doesn't feel too bad. The water would be cold, it's not too bad. Lots of shells and pieces of coral on the beach everywhere.
On the beach, one of the
shells I've ever seen on a beach.
That's incredible. Look at it.
Isn't it lovely?
Can't take it home, but it's a beauty.
It is a beauty.
Look at the inside of it, how smooth it is.
It's very iridescent.
Oh, that feels really nice. This divot in the sand's obviously a turtle's nest, and it's a fair distance from the sea. Here we are back in Exmouth, and it's blowing an absolute gale and it's freezing. Here we are, Ningaloo Woof. We're about to go for a snorkel, we hope. It's still pretty cold, but I'm hoping it's got to be nice and warm in the water. Here we are in Yardie Creek after our swim, where we saw lots of fish. This day's warmed up a bit, so it's a lot better.
Still breezy though.
Yeah. Yeah, still very windy. There's an osprey's nest just over there. You can just see the head sticking out. one right up the end. Guess we could.
An acquaintance of mine is the master mariner who was
Yeah. And we're back in our room. This is Dirt Heart Hog Island we're on. Dirt Heart Hog landed here in 1616. It's now been made into a national park and you can actually camp here. Okay. Obviously you can bring your four-wheel drive over here on a barge and drive on this island. See the tyre tracks everywhere. They've got a good launching system here for the boats.
Just come into Francois Perron National Park. We're about to do a beach landing, walk up the sandhills and walk to Cape Perron, which you can see in the distance.
There we go. There's the road in the distance. It's very sandy. We drove this road 2 years ago when we were here. Or 1 year ago, I think it was actually. Lots of way here out to look at. Yeah, I thought I saw dolphins out there. Yeah. Pretty miserable day today.
It's a good day to go walking.
Yeah. It's wet. So we're now looking at Cape Inscription Lighthouse in the distance there. We're just coming around the headland.
Sure, all your belongings are up off the floor. Mike's taking his socks off.
I'm keeping everything else on. Talking about West Wallaby in relation to the Batavia story, and that's a little bit at about 10 or 11 o'clock. The islands are home of the Tamil wallaby, hence the name, and they're reasonably sized islands. They're about 500 or 600 hectares each, and I know they're quite substantial. You do get the odd cyclone down this way.
So they're going to go right here, they're going to snorkel where we were.
We're now on Beacon Island, and this is where in 1629, I think it was, the Batavia wrecked off a reef here, and the survivors came to the island, and there was a mutiny, and a lot of people were murdered.
Seal over there.
Ah. There's a seal sitting in front of us here.
Have you got my photo? Yeah. How about I just, would you like this
Seal. This whole island seems to be made of pieces of broken up coral everywhere.
Found a skull, and then they made an investigation. They found 15 burials here, and so they removed the hut. And so this footprint here is where the crayfish's hut was initially, but the graveyard for, well, Batavia's graveyard right here.
So they haven't sort of noted that.
Well, there's oblique references to it. This is the quote from the minister. You remember Cornelius invited the minister in to have a chat, and in the meantime his family was being murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the quote.
So Graham's read that, the island
Oh,
where we
there
go.
you go.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I read the
Yeah.
There's another one in there somewhere.
Starting to rain. Just started to rain, which is not very pleasant, and it's cold. So this is a very small island to be marooned on, and there's no shade, no trees. Well, that's the end of the island there. And we're going to head back now. The very tip end of the island. Heading back to the dock now. And this very small island that you can probably walk around in 10 minutes. Incredible.
155 people murdered on this island. Very sad tale.
Cornelius?
Cornelius. Yeah. In the name of his religion.
I'm really glad we wore our jackets and shoes. It's very rough underfoot and it's freezing. So this is the wharf that we just landed on not so long ago. Bay. Oh, it is a bit sheltered, isn't it? On East Wallaby Island. It actually is a little bit sheltered here. Looks like it's very weedy here. We were going to snorkel here, but I think there would have been too much weed. So there's the Coral Geographer that we came with. And there's the tender, or what they call the explorers, going back to the boat.
Walk further.
Yeah. There's a lizard down here basking itself in the sun. We're going to start making our way back now, because if we don't, we'll probably have to swim back to the boat. And it's a long way.
We are currently in a group of islands called the De Houtman-Abrolhos Islands. De Houtman was a Portuguese navigator, I believe, and he named them Abrolhos because it means beware, keep your eyes open, because of all the reefs around here.
That's right. And that's why the Batavia got wrecked on the reef.
Yeah, so it was night time and the captain saw the waves, but the observer said it was just moonshine on the waves. So they didn't take much notice.
Yeah. But it wasn't. Look at that over there. Yeah, there's a reef just here. You see that? On our way back to the boat. Here's the wharf we arrived on.
Oh, on the bow door.
On our way to Post Office Island.
Maybe we'll talk when we get in a little bit closer.
Made up of big pieces of broken coral. Very hard to walk on. This is interesting. It's a long drop dunny into the ocean. Although I don't know if they use it anymore. And at the end of the tour, you can come into this shop and spend some money. Hope you got your credit card with you, boys. Don't let your wife in here, whatever you do. And there's another toilet. I think the pipe just goes down into the water. So we spent the afternoon on Post Office Island, and now we're getting back on the tender to go back to the boat.
We've learnt all about crayfishing and all
Cray
about
system,
pearling.
Pearling. Alright, so off we go, back to the big ship. And here we say goodbye to the ship. It's all over. We're in Fremantle now.